Good morning, students. Today we are going to be dividing polynomials. We're on section 3.3. We'll consider this to be point 3a. We'll be dividing polynomials two different ways. Today we're going to be learning the first way, 3.3a. What we're going to start off with is we're going to start off with a refresher on how to divide. So if I say divide 431 by 5, using long division, first thing that'll happen is maybe you'll start to sweat. Be like, oh, I don't know how to do long division. Well, that's why we're doing this refresher. So if you remember, mom, dad, sister, brother, those are the steps we use for long division. That's going to be the steps that we use for dividing of polynomials also. So mom, dad, sister, brother. Multiply, divide, subtract, and bring down. So the mom, dad, sister, brother just helps us remember MDSB, and what they are is multiply, divide, subtract, bring down. So let's see how that works. So 431 divided by 5, I have 5. So 431 like that. So how many times does 5 go into, I'm sorry, let's flip this around. It should be dad, mom, sister, brother. Dad, mom, sister, brother. So you divide and then you multiply. So divide. How many times can 5 go into 4? Well, it can't. It's too small. So we go to 43. How many times does 5 go into 43? 8 times. There's our division. Our multiplication, 8 times 5 is 40. Subtraction, 43 minus 40 is 3. And then our last step is to, let's use a bright color. Our last step is to bring down. So bring down the 1. And we have 31. And so we start all over again. We do this until we have a number on top of each one of these. So we started off, it didn't go into 4, so it went into 43, so that's why I put the 8 on top of the 3. So how many 5s goes into 31? 6. That's our division. 6 times 5 is 30. That's our multiplication. Subtraction, 31 minus 30 is 1. And then bring down. There's nothing left to bring down. So this is our remainder. However, we're not going to put R1. This is our remainder, which is 1 over 5. It's 1 over 5 because this is what we're dividing everything by, right? So it's 1 over 5. So our answer is 86 and 1/5. So that's how we divide. Just do long division. So now let's see how that applies when we're doing dividing polynomials. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that so it's not distracting. And here we have divide 3x squared plus 2x minus 5 by x plus 2. So I'm going to set it up the same way, x plus 2. And then we're dividing 3x squared plus 2x minus 5. Now, if this makes sense in your head, go ahead and do it. But I'm not worried about this 2, I'm worried about this x. How many x's go into 3x squared? Well, you could figure that out by doing, we'll call this our side math, a little scratch section. If I go 3x squared divided by x, so I'm going to need one more x, and I'm going to need 3. So 3x squared divided by x equals 3x, right? And you could check it by saying 3x times x, I get 3x squared. Oh, sure enough. But you don't have to check it. 3x is what I'm looking for. Now, I'm going to put like terms on top of like terms. So I have my 3x. So I have my x's right here. And now what I have to do, that was my divide part. Now I have to multiply. And I have to multiply through the whole thing because this is a unit. This is a polynomial. So I have to distribute 3x to the x and 3x to the 2. So 3x times x is 3x squared. And then 3x times 2 is 6x. So I did my multiplication. Now I have to subtract. And this is where you have to be double careful. Because when I subtract, I'm subtracting the whole thing. So right now, 3x times 2 is a positive 6x, right? So when I subtract, I have to distribute this negative through the whole thing. So what I get is I'm going to add a negative 3 and a negative 6. So it's just what we practiced yesterday. I just am adding the opposite. So 3x squared minus 3x, well, that's 0. And then 2x minus 6x is negative 4x. There's my subtraction. And now I bring down. So I'm going to bring the negative 5 down. So I get negative 4x minus 5. All right. Now, when I'm done with that, I go all the way back up and I start over again, right? I start with my divide. So how many times does x go into negative 4x? Well, I'm not sure. Let's go negative 4x divided by x. And what I get is negative 4. And I check it. Negative 4 times x gives me negative 4x. Sure enough, that's what I'm looking for. Perfect. So I have negative 4. So there it is. There's my division. Now I go to multiply. So negative 4 times this whole thing. Negative 4 times x is negative 4 times 2. So negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Got my multiplication out of the way. Now I do my subtract. And my subtract is this whole thing. So when I'm subtracting, I am adding the opposites. So I got my opposites. I changed every one of these. I distributed the negative through, so they all change. So now I have negative 4x plus 4x, that's 0. Negative 5 plus 8 is 3. Now I'm done, right? Because I have a number on top of each, so I'm done. So this is my remainder. So how do I write a remainder? Well, my remainder is, are there pterodactyls in here? Oh my gosh. So pterodactyls are leaving. So we will finish off with the math. I have my leftover 3. So I have 3 divided by x plus 2. So that's my answer right there. 3x minus 4 plus 3 divided by x plus 2. 3x minus 4 plus 3 over x plus 2. That's how you do division of polynomials. Since this is tough, let's check out a couple problems in here. Which one should we do? Let's do this one. So I'm going to rewrite this. So I have x minus 1, x to the third minus 3x plus 2. So my first job is how many x's go into x? Oh, I don't have any x squared over here. Huh. Okay, well, I'll put my x squared here because I need my x's above here. So how many x's goes into x third? I have x squared. So I'm going to write this. Actually, I'm going to write this kind of big. S squared minus 0x squared minus 3x plus 2. That's a way better way to write this. If I don't have a number when it's written in standard form, if I don't have it, go ahead and put 0, because 0 times anything is 0. But what this is a placeholder so that I could still do my division. So how many x's go into x cubed? Well, x squared. Now I do so I'm going to have my divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So I did my division. So now I have my multiplication. X squared times x is x to the third. X squared times -1 is -1x squared. Got my multiplication. So now I do my subtraction. Okay, and I'm subtracting this whole unit. So I have to add the opposite. Negative, positive. X to the third minus x to the third is 0. Negative. Oh, that should be a positive. It doesn't. Actually, it doesn't matter. -0 and +0 are the same thing. Plus 1x, so I get x squared. Done with my subtraction. Or 1x squared. It doesn't matter. Same thing. Same thing. Then my next step is to bring down. So I bring down a -3x. And there's my new number. Okay, go back up to divide. So how many x's go into x squared? Well, 1. Wait, yeah, 1. X. X times x is x squared. X times -1 is negative x. And then I subtract the whole thing. So I'm adding the opposite. X squared minus x squared is 0. -3x plus x is -2x. The next step is bring down. And so I have -2x plus x. Now, how many x's go into -2x? Well, -2. -2 times x is -2x. -2 times -1 is +2. And I subtract the whole thing, which means I add the opposite. So that becomes a negative. Hey, look at that. This one, I get -2x, +2x, so that's 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. So I have no remainder. So that right there is my answer. X squared plus x minus 2. That's my answer for x to the third minus 3x plus 2 divided by x minus 1. Boom. Just like that. Okay. Let's do one of these. Let's go for, which one should we do? Should we do number 3? All right, this one might take up more paper, but we'll see. 4x plus 1. 4x to the third plus 13x squared plus 27x plus 6. And while it is a long number, it's okay. We only have to deal with the first one. So how many 4x's go into 4x to the third? 1x squared, right? X squared times 4x is 4x to the third. X squared times 1x is x squared. I subtract the whole thing, which means I add the opposite. So if you notice, I'm doing every one of these steps, and you have to show the work. You have to show doing every one of these steps. Oh, got a phone call. Give me a second, and I will be right back. All right, back. So I am adding the opposite. That's 0, and this is 12x squared. How many 4x's go into 12x squared? I could do side math, and I could do 12x squared divided by 4x, and I get 3x. Or I could just say, okay, 4 goes into 12 3 times. X, I need one more x. So I have 3x. 3x times 4x is 12x. Oh, I didn't bring down. Sorry, 3x times 4x is 12x squared. Forgot to bring down. Boop. So I have plus 27x. 3x times 1 is 3x. So I have to subtract the whole thing, and I get add the opposite. And I get 12x squared minus 12x, that's 0. That's 24x. And then I have to bring down plus 6. 4x goes into 24x. How many times? That is 4 times 6. 6 times 4 is 24x. 6 times 1 is 6. Hey, look at that. Subtract, and I get 0, 0. I get no remainder. All right, so I'm adding the opposite. So there it is. No remainder. There's my answer. X squared plus 3x plus 6. All right. Your homework is to do A, B, C, and D on page 71 and 1 through 4 on page 73. All right. Have a wonderful time. Let me know if you have any questions. And enjoy.